It's just such a shocking moment.
Yeah.
It's like you're like in that moment and you're like, what?
Like you
what
always
do I
say,
even
it was
do?
like literally like my whole world literally just like
Turned
flipped upside down and
Yeah.
I like the whole world around me stopped.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Flipside podcast. I have a special guest here today, Aaliyah, aka Lee.
Hello, everybody.
Today, we're going to be talking about the fun topic of grief. Lee and I both have lost our parents, surprisingly, within like
Days of each other.
days. So crazy. And it's actually what brought us together to be friends. So I thought it'd be a cool topic to speak on just because grief is something that is never ending. It's always going to be there in life. You just kind of learn to live with it and the different stages of it and when it randomly hits you. But it's a real thing that people deal with. And I feel like it's not talked about as often as it should be. So I thought we would start off on how we met. Do you want to start?
I mean, how do you think we started being friends?
Through Instagram?
Okay, yeah, me too. I was like, I don't want to be a weirdo and thinking that like I
like
thought you were my
completely
friend
different.
on social media.
No,
Because
you're for
I
sure
always
friends.
knew of you, but I
Yeah.
didn't really know you.
Yeah.
Just from our towns being so close to each other.
Well, I guess we could get background info like that. So
Right.
Lee lived in Portales, which was like
15,
20 minutes from Clovis. So she went to Portales High, and I went to Clovis High, but we did always know of each other through social media
Right.
and sports and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I never hung out with
Never.
you until after
Yeah.
we were graduated.
And I feel like I knew like the people you hung out with, but I didn't
Yeah.
know you.
Yeah.
And then I think I later on realized that you and Sarah were sisters, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, they're pretty, they're cool, so I'm gonna follow them. So then I
They're
think we
pretty,
followed
they're
each
cool.
other, and then we would comment on each other's posts,
Yeah.
slide up on each other's stories, and just stuff like that. Kind of
Kind of keep
engaged with
up.
one of each other.
Mhm.
Engaged with each other,
Yeah.
And so from there, I just felt like it was just very much like mutual that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think July came around.
July of 2019.
Yeah.
And your dad passed away.
July 9th.
And my mom passed away July 19th. So
Right.
literally within 10 days,
Yeah.
we lost a parent,
Whenever
which is crazy.
you posted that your mom passed away, I was in the hotel for my dad's funeral. And
So-
I just remember like seeing it, and I just felt so sad for you guys. Like
Yeah.
it genuinely made my heart feel
Mm.
so sad because I was like, oh,
You're
they
like,
have
man,
no
I really
idea. They
know.
have no idea what they're about to go through, you know? And so I just remember I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out. I feel like and honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even think we were friends commenting like that
Yeah.
before that. Like, I
No,
feel like we
I
just
think we just
followed
had
each
each
other.
other on
Yeah.
socials. Yeah.
And so then I reached out to you, and I was just like, hey, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know exactly what you're going through. I just
Yeah.
went through it a week ago. So it was very tough to like know that
Navigate.
somebody else
Yeah.
was going through that.
Yeah.
So I just felt like, and honestly, not a lot of people reached out to me in that way that I would have I felt like it would have made a difference for me. So I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? Let me just kind of be that
Be a
person for her.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just remember reaching out to you, and then
We just started hanging out.
from there.
And when did we hang out the first time?
So the first time we hung out officially, okay, this is off topic, but do you remember Halloween? Like, you were in
Oh my
Lubbock and
goodness.
I was here,
Yes.
and like we had planned to hang out. That was like the first
Yes.
time we planned to see each other.
And you were the disco girl.
No,
Different Halloween?
yeah. Whenever we were here, who were you with?
Tay in
Tay.
Savannah. Oh my gosh. I forgot
And we went to
about that.
Depot District, and it was like
Yes. You were the
Three Blind Mice.
Three Blind Mice, and I was a space cowboy.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes.
And
And that was brief.
yes.
That was like
and
a
we
brief.
saw each other
yeah.
for like 15 minutes at a
Brief,
bar, and
yeah.
that was it.
And then it's like, okay, she's cool. So
Yeah.
again, kept posting, kept commenting. And then
Because that was like 20.
20.
parents passed away 2020. No, parents passed away 2019. That would have been October
2020.
of 2019, right? And then the following
year was
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we
COVID.
randomly, I texted Aaliyah. We had a common interest in a DJ, Charlie Jordan.
Yes.
And I DM'd her on Instagram and I was like, hey, this is super random, but like, you want to go to Vegas and like go see one of Charlie's sets. So like without really knowing each other
At all.
just Lee and I, we took a trip to Vegas.
Yep.
So funny. We weren't even 21 yet.
Not at all. I used my sister's ID to get
and
into.
I was using a fake ID.
Yeah.
We had no issues at all.
At
but the
all.
funniest part was we were in Vegas for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Really did not go hard in the paint
We
at
didn't
all.
do
Like it was
anything.
We slept most of the time.
The whole time.
We had fun at the DJ set
Right.
that ended up not even being Charlie
No,
Jordan.
and that really put a bad taste in my mouth, but I'm
Yeah.
not even going to talk about it because.
And Charlie Jordan, I remember DMing her on Instagram
Yeah.
and it was so crazy. And I was like, hey, you're posting it. You're in Florida. But like, we're here in Vegas for your set.
Yeah.
And she surprisingly DM'd me
Responded
back. And
right
she
away.
was like, what did she say? She was like, not until XYZ date.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like we didn't know your date changed
Mhm.
because we actually bought tickets in a hotel to come to specifically see your set that you're not here for. Aaliyah was very upset about it. But
Yeah.
we still had fun. I
We
think
did.
it was, what was the girl's name that we saw?
Mads.
Mads.
Yeah. She was also another female DJ.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was cool.
I feel like it was better than it would have been if we would have saw Charlie.
Yeah. And Lee ended up getting us up on stage. Don't even ask me how. We're literally in the pool and she's like, I have a video and I'm like filming like the palm trees and like the bar scene. And Lee's like, Sailor, I want to get on stage. And in the background of the video, and like, I
5
like in the
minutes
video and I was
later.
like, Aaliyah, no, like that's actually really scary. And she's like, no, like we're gonna
I was
get
like, I
on
feel
stage.
like it won't be that hard. I feel
Yeah.
like there's girls on the stage all the time.
Yeah.
So then I just remember I remember walking up to the stage and pointing to the producer or whoever was
Yeah.
up there. I was like, come here. And they looked at me and I remember side view, I saw a security guard walking my way and I was like, they're like, no, she's fine. And I was like, can me and my friend come up here? And he's like, who's your friend? And I was like, that girl over there. And he's like, yeah. And I was like,
So then we
"Sailor."
got to literally experience the DJ set from behind the DJ
right.
booth. There
Hung
was
out
like
with them for
free drinks. We hung out after, but like we had the full
Yeah,
service.
for
It was
sure.
awesome. All because Leah is so
went to dinner with
ballsy
them
and-
afterwards.
Yeah.
There was no need for us to do that, but it was so fun.
I'm glad that you did that. I
Yeah.
could have never had the confidence to do that, but we had a great time because of your confidence.
Thanks. It was fun.
But yeah, so anyways, we got connected through Instagram after both of our parents passed, and then kind of were just besties
Yeah.
since
I think the
then.
first time we ever actually hung out, do you remember, in Albuquerque?
Mm-hmm.
And
we
we
went to
hung
some
out
party.
from,
We were in our party girl era.
yeah. And the party was like 30 minutes. And then afterwards, we just ended up hanging out till like 4 or 5 in the morning at my sister's friend's house.
Oh
Just
my gosh, I forgot about that.
hanging out. Like,
We were playing a card game or something.
I don't even know if I truly think we were just hanging out and Olivia
Talking.
and Kirsten were
Yeah.
yapping and me and you were just
We were sitting at
vibing.
the kitchen table.
Yep.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
And then after we were like, oh yeah,
yeah.
we're for sure
For
friends.
sure. We're definitely going to be friends forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we both moved to Lubbock
Yep.
in August of 2021.
Mhm.
God was like, you two are going to be
Need each other
besties.
for sure.
Mhm.
We lived
Not
a
even
minute from each other
away,
when we
yeah.
first moved here.
And we spent a lot of time
Yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm. Lots of time.
Yeah.
I felt like
So-
it was very good for us to like transition to
Into
kind of
a
an
new season
adulthood.
and having each other
Mhm.
too was really helpful.
For sure.
So that's how we met. We really bonded over losing a parent. But then like after discovering that and kind of walking through that, we have so much in common with style, with our careers, now the career that you're in,
Mm-hmm.
which we can get into that in a little bit. But first, to kick us off, I thought that we would talk about the day that each of our parents died. So do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
I'll go first because he died first.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
it was July 9th, 2019. I was going into my senior year of high school. That night before, my sister was back in town from for the summer.
Yeah.
She was going to school at Tech, so she was back in Portales for the summer. And the next day, or that day, I ended up having a volleyball summer camp
Mm.
go on, and we had to go to Artesia at like 4 or 5 in the morning. But that whole night before, it was really weird. Me and Olivia stayed up and talked probably until an hour before we had to leave, just talking about my dad. And it was just like really heavy on our hearts, you know, and just everything that was going on. For context, my dad was sick for 12 years.
Yeah. A good majority of your life.
Pretty much my whole life since I was in second grade. So for the longest time, we always knew that it was possible that he would pass, but you never, like, it being your dad, you just think, oh, he's
gonna make it.
Yeah, he's so strong. He's Superman. Like, nothing can. He's been sick our whole lives, like on his deathbed so many times, you know, so many hospital visits. So really, it was just not a matter of when, but like a matter of like when, you know, and that sucks to say, but
share specifically what he was sick with.
Yeah, so he, whenever he was 21, he was shot and lost his kidney on his left side. Was able, again, to live with his kidney for a while. And then about 2007, 2008 maybe, he ended up getting kidney failure on his other kidney. So then he was on dialysis for several years, was on the transplant list for several years, went through all of the testing to find a match. There really wasn't much hope until a family member, my Uncle BJ, he ended up being a match. And so luckily my dad was able to get a kidney transplant in 2014.
And that's his brother?
His cousin.
His cousin. Okay.
But yeah, he would always drive him to his appointments. Like they did the whole process. So he had a kidney transplant in Houston in 2014. And it was really nice. He got to go do like all Houston before it. Afterwards, he was there for about 4 months. Yeah. So it was really good. And, you know, it kind of felt like we were getting my dad back. And it was like, okay, we're kind of starting over.
Yeah. Like everything's going to be okay.
Right. Life's about to begin again.
Yeah.
Because we're a little bit older now. And then my stepmom ended up getting pregnant around that time as well.
Benjamin.
Yeah, with my little brother Ben. So then we were blessed with a little brother on top of my dad kind of getting a second chance. So that was, again, what a blessing.
Yeah.
My dad started getting back into work, worked full time, kind of just doing the thing, you know, living life like a normal man would. And then in 2018, that kidney started to fail again, and his body just started rejecting it. And so then he went back on the transplant list to receive another kidney. And, you know, those things, if you don't have a match, it's kind of
just a waiting game.
You know, and it's really sad. And I wish there was a lot more I knew about it. Now that I'm an adult, I feel like during all that, I knew my dad was sick. I knew that he was on dialysis. But other than that, I really wasn't sure how extensive and how serious all of it was.
Yeah.
Because my dad was always sick.
Well, and I feel like that's kind of like a stage of grief after where you do fully process, but it's almost like in the midst of that going on, you're operating the fight or flight. Like that's a really painful situation, but you're a kid, you have stuff going on. You don't really want to face the fact that basically your dad is dying right now. And so I feel like for a good amount of the time, you kind of get in a place where it's like, I'm just going to like play this off as, oh, this is just what we're going through. But then after, like, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even think you are like, at least in my situation, like I could have processed that. It was almost too heavy, too painful to do at that age.
No, for sure.
Them still there too.
And like another thing was that he really did a good job on pretending like everything was fine.
Yeah.
And with my parents being divorced, and my dad living 3 hours away, like, we weren't there day in and day out of my dad's illness. And he wanted it that way. Like, there was times where like we've talked to him several times before he was married, like, come live with us, come live over here. Like, we'll take care of you. My mom even volunteered to be that kind of help for him, you know, just so he has family. And he was just like, no, I don't want to, like, he didn't want us to live our lives with him being sick like that. And I don't know if that is courageous or what that really is, but I feel like he shielded us a lot from his pain, and
which I feel like is courageous, is bold. Like, hey, love you girls, but I don't want y'all to see me like this. Like, in a way, he didn't want y'all to have to worry or carry that weight. Even though I'm sure part of you knew
Oh,
that
yeah,
it was
for
bad.
sure.
But
And
again, it's like, how much attention do we
for
want to
sure.
give
And
to
I will
that?
always give his wife and her children like their flowers for being there and like living through all of that, because
Yeah.
the times I was there, that was never easy. You know,
Yeah.
going on road trips and then having to stop in the middle halfway because we have to take him to the hospital. Just
Yeah.
little things like that was very telling on how sick he actually was.
Yeah.
So then we were going through all of those things in our brain that night before. And the next morning we got up, drove to Artesia, an hour and a half away. My sister had just gotten a new car, so we were so excited to...
Was it the Jeep?
No, it was her Nissan that she had for 3 months and then totaled it.
Livs loves
Shout
a
out
good
Livs and
car
her 5
wreck.
cars that she totaled. Shout out Livs. But we were on our way over there, and I just remember us, again, kind of carrying on that conversation. And then we started warming up our first match of the day, and I remember we were peppering as a team.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just see out of the corner of my eye, I see my sister walking up to me, and her face is just dropped. And
like, you instantly knew
I
something was
knew
wrong.
instantly something was wrong. Honestly, I didn't think it was my dad. That wasn't the first thought in my head.
Do you think there was a reason the night before you guys were talking about that?
Definitely. 100%. I think the Lord was trying to, I don't know, maybe open
Prepare.
up. Yeah, kind of like open us up for what's about to come, or just be like, I don't know, kind of come to, I don't know.
It literally gives me chills.
Yeah, it's like
hearing that. I don't think I knew that part of the story.
It was very like special. I mean, me and my sister yap all the time, all day long.
Queen of yap.
We shared a room our whole lives, so all we've done is speak to each other.
Yeah.
From until the next morning. So, I just remember her coming up to me, and man, her face was like dropped, and
that sister connection too, where you're just
her
like,
eyes crying
shit is going on.
And she just comes up to me and she's like, Dad died. And I was like, my heart instantly just was like shattered, and just like, I couldn't even move. I was just like, whoa. Whoa, like literally. And I laugh about it now, but not, it's like, it was literally like this most, like, I can't even explain.
Yeah. It's like, you're like in that moment and you're like, what?
Like you always
what do
say,
I even
it was
do?
like literally like my whole world literally just like flipped upside down. And I, like, the whole world around me stopped.
Yeah.
All the volleyballs on the ground stopped. Like, there was nobody there anymore. It was just me and my sister, and that's it, you know? And I mean, it was a gym full of people. So it was very sad. It was very hard to kind of like, and then I remember I walked up to my coach and I was just like, hey, like, or no, I was bawling my eyes and I was like, I have to leave. My dad died. And
so awkward too. I remember in my story too, having to tell my boss that, and like, it's like, what are you saying? Hey, I gotta go. My dad's dead.
Yeah,
like,
we just got the call that my dad's dead, and I just remember like her just hugging me and telling me she was so sorry.
Yeah,
and I was just like, man, I'm walking out of the gym, grabbing all my stuff. We're straggling just to get out the door, and we just sat in the car for 15 minutes, just bawling our eyes out, like genuinely crying so hard, like I've never cried before.
Yeah.
And then I remember a random coach, a random lady, didn't know her. She came out there and she was like, "Are you girls okay?" And we're like, "No, our dad just died." And she was like, "Well, do you guys need me to drive you back to Portal?" Like, she was trying to find us a way, like to drive us back, find somebody to drive us back. And we're like, "No, like we're okay. Like we'll figure it out." And again, we hadn't slept that whole night before. Yeah, because we were just hanging out.
Yeah.
And man, that was horrible. It was genuinely so bad. And then we had to drive all the way back to Portales and another 2.5 hours back. And I just remember halfway through, like, most silent car ride I've ever had, most heartbreaking car ride I've ever had, exhausting car ride I've ever had. And I just remember we pulled over on the side of the road, like, for another 30 minutes. And again, just both of us were just bawling our eyes out. And I feel like I was extremely blessed that we were there together and we found out together. Because I think if it would have been any other way, Yeah, no, I don't.
And like the timing of when it happened, Liv's being home from college, still like coming home and
Right.
living in Portales for the summer. Like,
Being there.
I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
Very, very intense.
Mhm.
Very intense for a 17-year-old going into her senior year that you don't expect,
Yeah.
like I never expect. I knew my dad was sick. I knew
Mhm.
it would happen, but knowing that it happened when it did, and
It's just something you can never be
yeah,
prepared for.
not at all. And then drove back, got into town, and me and my mom and my sister just sat on the couch for hours and just
Mm.
I laid on my mom's lap. She was holding Olivia with this arm and just cried and cried and
Yeah.
cried. And then I think I went to Rico's, my boyfriend's, just because I felt like I needed to be held in
Yeah.
a different way.
Comforted where you could like really let it out
Yeah.
and not have to worry that your mom and sister were going to be worried
Also
about you.
and
Like they're
also
also
feeling it.
hurting. Yeah.
And I just remember going over to his house and he just held me for
Mm.
hours and I fell asleep literally on top of him because I was so exhausted from the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that same day we drove up to Clayton and saw all of it. And yeah, life picked up from there, and it just went by so fast. Like
Yeah.
from the moment we got the phone call to the moment that we left weeks later after the funeral, it's like all a blur and felt like happened in 3 hours.
Oh, it's so crazy. And
Yeah.
like how when you're operating in that grief, like just how it is a blur. And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh my gosh, like I can't even believe that happened.
Yeah.
And kind of crazy in both of our stories, like of losing a parent. We both went through it with a sister.
Yep.
We both how far apart are you and Liv's?
2.5, 3.
Okay, so almost 3 years. And Sarah and I are like, I think 16, 18 months. But like in both of our relationships and upbringings, like we had a sister was like our best friend.
Right.
Like we didn't really need anybody else
Mhm.
besides our sister. And I feel
And like our parent in
Yeah.
a way of like kind of filled that void of like,
Mhm.
yes, both of our parents were divorced.
Yeah.
Both of our parents did what they were doing in
Yeah.
our lives and we needed our sisters to
Yeah.
kind of
Fill
be
that gap.
and be that parental figure,
Mhm.
kind of just our guide
Yeah.
in the world, protector,
Yeah,
and I
for
think
sure.
that's such a blessing. And then we were also blessed with little siblings
Which is so crazy.
from both of our parents that passed away.
Yeah. What year was Ben born?
2014.
Oh my gosh. And London was born, I
15?
think 2014 or 2015.
Yeah.
Because they're both 10, right?
He's 11.
He's
so
11.
he's a year older
So
than
he's a
her.
year- which is so crazy. Like fully grown.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
having
getting
a
a
baby
sibling.
brother.
It's like, what? I'm not the baby anymore?
no,
Like,
literally
what?
what? And
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have handled it as well if it was like my mom having a baby,
Yeah.
but since it was my dad, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
know. And
Well, it's just so
Yeah.
interesting though that both of us ended up having a baby sibling at that around
same
the same
gender
age.
of our parent.
No, literally. And the fact that that's the parent that passed.
Right.
And that affected that relationship
Yeah,
as well.
100%.
Which is something else that we
Yeah,
could probably go
for
on
sure.
and on about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're so strong.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was definitely the most life-altering day of my life, and
Yeah.
I will remember every single second of it.
Mm.
Even though I say it's a blur, I remember every feeling I had, every person that reached out to me, every person that was like looking at me, or every feeling that I had in that moment, because it is who I am today.
Yeah.
It truly made me
Yeah.
who I am and the way I live my life now because of it.
It shaped you into who you are.
For
And
sure.
what a beautiful testimony too. Although uncomfortable and brutal,
Right.
you chose to persevere and rise above, which I think we both have in our situations. And there's so much blessing on that for choosing that route, because at that age you had every excuse to
Right. And I
go
was
the other way.
and I wasn't the best person after. Like
Yeah.
I mean it changed me forever to the point where I lost people. I put a lot on people that I expected to be there for me and they weren't.
Mm.
And that's another grief,
Yeah.
like a friendship grief. Like
Yeah.
I lost friends during that time
Mm.
because I was struggling with it and they couldn't understand where I was at.
Yeah.
But also they didn't really try either.
Yeah.
Like they used whatever was going on with them, which is I'm not comparing or trying to say like, oh, what I was going through was worse. But losing a parent is probably one of the hardest things you can ever go through.
Especially
for anybody.
at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At any age, really.
It's not equivalent to some high school
Yeah.
relationship or
Right.
yeah, no, I
Friend
agree.
drama, like after that happened, I don't think I've ever been able to take anything seriously besides like death.
Yeah.
Truly, just because it's like death is
like
permanent.
exactly. And that's like
that.
the actual craziest thing that
Yeah.
can happen in life, the most permanent, the most heart puncturing. So
And
I
it makes you
definitely
love
feel that.
harder.
Yeah.
Like it
You see life through a
yeah,
different
for sure.
lens.
And it really made me thankful that I had my dad as
Mhm.
my dad. And I honestly feel like he's with me more
Yeah.
than ever. I
Mm.
feel his presence more than ever, but I'll let you go and talk
Yeah.
about your mom because I feel like your story. I would love to hear it because I don't think I really know like the depths of it all.
Yeah. Well, so it was the week. She passed away on July 19th, but everything kind of started transpiring the week of July 19th. She passed away on a Friday. My sister was away at college. I, at the time, had just graduated high school. In a month, I was about to move to Albuquerque and start going to college. I was working at Keller Williams as an executive assistant for the Cole group there, helping with their property management and real estate stuff. And I loved it. I mean, other than like my normal troubles with my mom, I was in a really good place in life. Sol was away for the summer. His dad lives in Colorado. So every summer when we were in high school, Sol would go be with his dad in the summers and working on houses and contracting and stuff like that. So this week, my mom was kind of in one of her episodes. I remember, I think it was a Tuesday, she called me one morning. This is the last time I saw her. And she was like, "Hey, I'm not feeling very well. Can you come take Elle to school?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm on my way." And that was something I did a lot. Like any way that I could step up and help. Like I was very involved with London, as much as I could be. My dad didn't like for me to stay over there and stuff like that, but I helped out as much as I could. So I remember knowing, like, as I'm going over there, I'm like, okay, something's going on, but something's always going on with her. Like, who knows what this episode's going to entail. I show up, walk in the door, and I can tell my mom's instantly on something. She's just not all there, kind of slurring her words. She's shaking, and poor London comes out and is ready for school. I remember London, it was summertime, so Elle was in this dress, but the back of the dress was like a razorback, and my mom had her dress on backwards. So her little boobs were hanging out. And I just remember like walking in and I'm just like, girl, like what? You're about to send your daughter to school looking like this? Like you're so far off your ass right now. You can't even get your kid dressed. I was really upset. And I think that
understandable
through losing my mom, I've definitely learned how to manage that anger and like that hurtness. Cause I mean, at that point I've been hurt by my mom, but now I'm like, this is affecting other people that I love. Like this baby, this innocent, beautiful baby that has been brought into this world. Like you're doing this to her. So I get London fixed up. We're walking out the door and I didn't even tell my mom I loved her. Like I was just pissed. I was like, what the hell? Like you don't even have a job right now. Like I'm just graduated high school. I've got a job. Like, you know, I just felt like miles ahead of my mom. And that's just such a weird place to be when like I'm the kid and you're supposed to be the mom. So I take London to school and drop her off. I remember my gran calling me that day and she was like, "Hey, like your mom's not doing very well. I'm going to pick London up from school so you don't have to worry about it." And I was like, "That's fine." So London gets picked up from school by my gran. The next day I'm at work and my gran calls me and she's like, "Hey, have you talked to your mom?" And I was like, "No, I haven't talked to her since I picked London up. Like what's going on?" And she's like, "Well, I can't get her to respond." She's like, "But I'm going to go over there." And at this point, London's at school for the day. My gran goes over there. I'm sitting at work and I get a call like 10, 15 minutes later. And it's my gran and she's like screaming. And I was like, I didn't really know what to do. Like I didn't think my mom was dead. I was like, okay, my mom's in a very manic episode. She's going crazy on my gran, which is something that she frequently did.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they're fighting with each other. Like they're yelling. My gran went in to check on her. My mom's like, get the hell out. Like, you know, I was just like, oh, okay. Like it's not good, but I didn't think death. And I remember just sitting there listening, and then I started to hear my gran's voice. So the whole time it was my gran crying. And she was, oh, it makes me so sad. But my gran was like, Sailor, she's gone. Like, she's so cold. She's so cold. And I was just like, what? Like, just in utter shock. Like, no way. And she's like, she's gone. And I was like, okay. I was like, let me leave work. I'll figure this out. I was like, I'll come over there. She was asking me to go over.
Right.
And I hang up the phone and I go into my boss's office at the time, Ronnie Cole. And I just remember being in utter shock. Like, it was not that it needed to be embarrassing, but like I kind of was crying. I wasn't hysterically crying yet.
Right.
And I was just like, hey, I have to leave. My mom's dead. Like, I was just like, I've got to go. And like, he was in shock. He was like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay?
Right.
Do you need something? Do you need me to drive you? And I was just like, no, I don't really know. But like, I was like, I've got to go. And so I left and I'm sitting in my car. Sarah's in nursing school in the middle of a big exam. My dad's at work and, you know, the railroad's pretty strict on phones. So I was like, I don't even need to call him. Soul's in Colorado. So the first call that I make was to G, my stepmom. And I just called her and I was like, hey, like, this is the news I just got. I don't even know what to do, but my gran asked me to go over. So like, I'm going to go over and I guess see what's going on, what I need to do. And Glenna's like, okay, well, I'm going to go over. I won't come in because my mom hated Glenna.
Right.
It was so bad. Glenna is a very cordial person and would have loved to get along with her, but my mom was just crazy and it just wasn't in the cards.
Right. She's with her man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be fighting. Never mind.
So anyways, G was like, well, I'm going to go and I'll just park outside the house. If you need me, like, I'm there. So I head over and I remember, by the grace of God, as I'm walking in the house, the paramedics are walking in.
Before you move forward, what did you feel like on the drive there?
I just remember being in shock. Like
full on.
I couldn't even cry.
Was there music
at that
playing?
point.
Was there?
No,
It
like
was
nothing.
truly, you were just like, I have no idea what I'm going to walk into.
Yeah. And I think my first thought was like, how the hell am I going to tell my sister who is in college in the middle of a test away from all of her family? Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, that's horrible.
She's in the middle of nursing school, one of the hardest professions I feel like you can get.
100%.
Like, the schooling's so hard. And I'm just like, what am I going to do? And then my mind's spiraling for my little sister. I'm like, what are we going to do with London? Like, okay, me and my sister can adopt her. Like, we'll figure this out. Like, all of this. And I'm just like, okay, like, I just got to get there.
I feel like that's such a testament to you, though, as a person. Like, you're thinking about everybody else but yourself. Like, and that is just you in a nutshell. Like, you were, that's just like, that makes so much sense that you were genuinely
very
like,
on brand.
very on brand, that you were very concerned about like everybody else. And like, but like in those moments, like you kind of forget like about yourself. Like you kind of take yourself out of the situation and you're just thinking about everybody else around you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very on brand for you.
Yeah.
But paramedics get there.
Okay, so I pull up. By the grace of God, the ambulance is walking in as I am with the gurney, and they're going to get her body. She's dead in the back bedroom. To this day, I don't know how she died. Like, I mean, I know that she overdosed. It was deemed accidental overdose, but I'm like, did she die in her sleep? Was she like, I'm miserable, I'm going to take all these pills? Like, she threw around killing herself all the time. Like, it was very on brand for Amanda. In like the worst way possible, but like all the time. She was talking about how she didn't want to be here. She tried to overdose multiple times and it just wasn't successful. She would have guns. She would say she was going to hang herself. I mean, it was just very common.
Manic,
and so I walk in and my grand's like, do you want to come back here? And I was like, no, like, I do not want to see her like that. I cannot. I know I'm not going to get that image out of my head. And so they're going back. They're getting her on the gurney. And I just told them, I was like, please tell me before you wheel her out. Like, I just cannot see her like that. And And it was just so crazy in that moment because there was a couple of our other family members there. At that point, my best friend Brooklyn had came over, and the paramedics, there's all these pills scattered on her kitchen counter, and they're counting the pills, counting, to make sure they have the amounts, which she did have medicine prescribed to her.
Right.
But majority of her doctors knew, like, hey, these muscle relaxers, she can't have this stuff. Mm-hmm. So she would go to the streets to get them. Right. So I'm like, yeah, whatever you're trying to add up here is definitely not. The math ain't gonna math, guys. Okay, I mean, she's crazy.
Check her phone logs. See how much she bought recently.
And so,
sorry, sorry. I'm not trying to I was not trying to indulge in that.
We have to just laugh through it. It's something that we like, dark humor. We just joke through it.
6 years in,
you can kind of you kind of just have to laugh about it.
Yes, I made a joke earlier, and I was like, Sailor would have got that.
No, literally. So all of that's happening. They're counting the pills on the counter. And, excuse me. Then the funeral home person shows up. And I'm like, there's no way that you need to talk to me right now.
At this moment.
My mom just died. She's about to be wheeled out in a gurney. And they're like, so when would you like the service? Are we wanting her cremated? Do we want to get a casket? All this stuff. And like, I'm just sitting there like, what the hell? Like, I just found out my mom died. Like, this is crazy.
30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to do next. So
Sarah doesn't know at this point.
No, Sarah doesn't know at this point. There's neighbors standing outside. And from there, backtrack a little bit. The weirdest thing is I love to drive around. And so the last time I saw her was Tuesday morning when I picked up London. Wednesday night, the night that she died, I was out driving around and I was worried about her, but me just being petty, I was like, I'm not going to text her. Like, I'm so mad at her. I'm upset. Like, I'm not going to check on her. And I go drive by her house, and her light was on. Her car was in the garage, and I was just like, okay, she's fine. Like, whatever. And now looking back at that, I'm like, was she dead then?
Yeah.
Did she need me then? Like, what if a stage of grief is regret. Mm-hmm. What if I would have went in? What if I could have saved her? But I didn't. And maybe I didn't for a reason. Yeah. Maybe she already was dead and I would have been the one to find her.
Yeah.
So that definitely was a thought that like sat with me because I was just like, could I have prevented this? Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was really hard. I remember leaving after they wheeled her out. And I went home to my dad in Glenna's house. That's where I lived. And all of my family was over for lunch. My dad had came home for lunch. My brother was there. My stepmom's mother was there. Like, it was just like everything was normal. And of course, Glenna knew what was going on. And I just remember like sitting there while everybody was eating. And like, I just had to get up and go to my room. Like, I was like, I just can't even, can't even conversate with anybody. Like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Again, sitting there, how the hell am I going to tell my sister? So Stevie, one of our close friends at the time in Brooklyn, came over and they were just comforting me in my room. And by this point, my dad knew. So he was home for lunch, took off work. And he was like, I'm going to drive up to Albuquerque to tell her. We were thinking the longevity of this test that she was in. We were like, we probably can
get there by the time she finishes up.
Yeah. And
that's so sad.
So my dad in Brooklyn, my best friend at the time, hopped in the car to go tell her. And I remember Sarah ended up getting out of her test and she was so confused because she said that there was random people messaging her on Facebook. Don't even ask me how it got out yet, but it was just because I'm guessing the neighbors were outside, whatever, telling people, that's just such a
not minding their own business.
Yeah. And so people were texting Sarah on Facebook Messenger being like, I'm so sorry for your loss. And Sarah's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like who died?
Yeah.
Like just so confused. And, if I'm remembering correctly, she called me and I just had to be like, yeah, mom's dead, dude. Like,
yeah,
it just made me so, it was just, nobody wants to have that phone call, but with your sister too.
Yeah.
So my dad in Brooklyn went and got her. My dad drove Sarah home and Brooklyn drove Sarah's car so that she could drive back. And it was really tough. I mean, the biggest thing was figuring out what we were going to do for London, and what what this next season of life was going to look like. But also my family was distraught. I, of course, was distraught, but I remember a few days after, I just had a talk with myself, a come to Jesus meeting. And I was like, Sailor, you've got to get your shit together. Like, everybody around you is spiraling. Like, you have to be strong for them. And my biggest concern was like, I don't want to actually show how I'm feeling because I don't need anybody else worrying about me in this situation because they're dealing with this too. And so I just chose to be the backbone for everybody and mapping out the funeral, figuring out what we're going to do with my mom's stuff. Like, it was a lot. And that's just kind of my personality, who I am, to take leadership of that stuff. But it was really hard. And I was glad as soon as Sarah could get home. But like, even going through her stuff, I regret rushing that because I think at the time we had like some of our family members going through it with us, but like, we were just so distraught. It was too soon. And now Sarah and I look back and we're like, we didn't even like really go through her stuff. We were just trying to get it knocked out as quick as we could because it was so painful. Yeah. And I remember like the funeral and everything, complete blur.
Yep. So fast.
Yeah. I only remember bits and pieces of it. I remember all of our family met in like there's like this commons area at our church in Clovis, in the back. And then we all walked in together and the auditorium was full. And it was just a testimony because my mom thought everybody hated her. Right. She felt like everybody was against her. And like, she was so loved. She was so good when she was good. And I think people knew that. Yeah. And some people probably didn't even know about her struggles and other people for sure knew. But I remember walking down the aisle, Sarah and I held hands and like just sitting there being like, there's no way that I'm at my mom's funeral right now. It was gut wrenching. Yeah. And I don't even remember like who all was there. Like, I wish personally that I could have like gone and talked to everybody, even though I know I wasn't in the best place to, but just to say thank you, just to know who was there. Yeah. And I think my grandparents have the funeral sign-in book that I could look through, but it was.
But even at that moment, like, are they there now? Like, for you, like, I feel like for the longest time, like during my grieving process, like, I really took note of who wasn't there. Like, I really saw like, okay, these are the people that are here for me right now. And it's great. And it's like amazing. It's a good feeling. But like, after casket was closed, he was in the ground, like, who's here to show up now, you know? And I feel like that's honestly one of the hardest times as well. Cause it's like, you have all these people reaching out. You have all these people that are like, oh, like, I'm so sorry. I'm here for you. If you need anything, I'm here. And then you actually are in the depths of it. It's over with, you know, like you said, like, you're cleaning out her stuff. Like, that's the hardest stuff. Like, them dying at that moment. Yes. Those are life-changing situations, but now we have to deal with it. And now we have to live with it because we're still alive, you know, and we're still here and they're not, you know, and it's literally so tough. And I'm so sorry that you had to do that at your age and in general. Like, and I know you as a person and I know that you took full lead on everything. And I wish she didn't have to do that. But again, like, that's your mom. Like, you had to. She didn't have anybody else. And that's just like a testament to what kind of person you are. Just like doing that, being there, even worrying about Sarah. And like, that's, I give you a lot of praise for that because I feel like that probably wasn't easy. Yeah. And I'm sure it was maybe like a coping mechanism for you to like kind of not feel what you wanted to feel.
No. And I think that's a struggle that I'm dealing with now as far as like, you know, when you don't process things how you're supposed to and like fully suppress everything, it's going to come back. Right. And I remember trying to deal with the grieving process a couple months after. I went to a couple counselors, couldn't really find anybody that I really connected with. I remember one counselor, I like go in and she's like, so what brings you in? Like, tell me a little bit about yourself. And I'm like, oh God, like, where do I even start, man? This girl, it's bad. It's really bad.
I got a lot.
No. And then I tell her my whole life story and she's like, just looking at me and she's like, oh no, honey, you have it so bad. And I just look at her. I'm like, yeah, girl, that's why I'm here. Like, you don't have to say that to me. I didn't go back to her because I was like, you're not helping me.
Thanks for stating the obvious.
No, literally. But moving on from that, the grief cycle that follows death. Yeah. So, I mean, it's actually funny, but do you want to go to Lee? Oh, Sarah was in nursing school, of course, at the time. And that's something, I don't know why this like sticks out to me, but it's something I was helping her study for was the stages of grief. And I remember that this really stuck out to me because it just started to make sense of my grief. Because there's so many different stages to it.
Yeah.
You know, there's the regret stage, which was horrible for me.
Yeah.
I would have nightmares where like it would be like she was back and I treated her exactly how I should have.
Right.
And I have to give myself
Some grace
because I'm
for
like,
sure.
she actually was horrible to us majority of the time. So I treated her
the way you were feeling.
Yeah, I don't want to say how she deserved,
and
but
you
it's
were
not
a
like
child.
she exactly.
Like you have to give yourself so much grace for you only being a child.
18 when she passed,
right?
But dealing with that for so long. But I remember like just regretting, like being like, I wish I would have been there for her more. I didn't understand mental illness until after she passed, and I saw that it took her life to be like, dang, Sailor, like she was actually really struggling, and you could have been there for her.
Yeah.
And again, I know I was there for her, but there was breaking points, you know, where I was like,
boundaries.
You're actually hurting me.
Yeah.
You're hurting my family. Sometimes just emotionally and verbally, sometimes physically, if you'd want to get crazy and push us around. Like, I realized that it was for protection, but I was just like having these dreams where like, it was like she was back and I was being there for her. I was spoiling her with gifts. I was spending more time with her. And then I'd wake up and I'd be like, yeah, you didn't do that, Sailor. Like, and it was really hard. And I remember like crying to Soul, and Soul would be like, hey, let's not forget what she put you through.
Yeah.
Like you had every right to treat her that way. And I mean, it's just, how do you navigate that as a kid?
No, for sure. And like you said, with regret, like not having those, like you said, not driving by and not getting down and saying anything. Like the year before my dad died, we didn't really talk to him because of some personal reasons and like things that were, there was no need for that. You know, like I don't think the reason us not talking to him for that year was necessary on either side. Like, I mean, like seeing him, I think I saw him April of 19. So 3 months, 4 months before he had passed, and he looked really sick. My dad looked really sick. And I just remember going home and telling Olivia, like, we need to talk. Like, you need to talk to him. Like, we need to talk to him because he's not doing well, you know? And now that when he passed, it was very much like, wow, we went that long without talking to him, and now we can't. Like, we don't have that time back because he's gone.
He's gone forever.
And, like, I feel like regret sits with you until you kind of understand what you're regretting.
Yeah.
And I feel like your regret comes from something that you kind of couldn't control, you know? And that's where I learned as, like, this process is, like, none of that was really in my control. I was a kid. And yes, I was 17 years old, but that's a kid. Yeah. I see 17-year-olds now, like, that's a child. I was a child. Even I'm still too young to know better. It out. Yeah. And to lose your parent or to lose anybody, and I mean, it's not easy, but, like, especially your parent that you have regrets with, you know, and it just sits with you. And it eats at you and eats at you. And there's not really much you can do about it until you decide to do something about it, you know? And I feel like that's where a lot of people get lost when grief happens. It's like you either sit there in that grief and that regret forever and you forget, like you were saying, like all of the good that comes from them or the reason why you regret that, you know? And you learn and grow from it. And you don't let that happen again. Like
you learn, like you take it as like, okay, like now whenever I'm dealing with difficult people or people who are struggling mentally or with addiction issues, like I just see it differently. Definitely am a little bit more slow. I have more patience. And I think that that's all you can do in life is choose to learn from, I don't want to say mistakes because again, we were kids. We didn't know how to navigate that. We were hurt. We were betrayed. I mean, but choosing again to rise higher and
for sure
and move forward in a positive direction. Hey, this situation really sucked, but what are you going to do? Life's not going to stop for you. Like you have to continue on.
And life didn't stop.
No.
Like I remember going back into life after I came back from the funeral and I was like, oh, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares that my dad's
over. All right, guys, on to the next.
Nobody said so. Like it was over and done with. Like nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody's life stopped. My whole world stopped. My whole life stopped. But that was also, to me, very noticeable, like not letting my life end when my dad's life ended,
That's good.
because
You still had so much life to live.
Yeah, and I could have, and I know that he would be so disappointed if I just stopped.
Yeah.
I have so much to do, and he really instilled in me, like, you're in Austin, you're meant for something great, and I take that every day, and I get up with that same mentality because, I mean, it means something to me. I have a point to prove, and I don't know what the point is, and I don't know where it's going to take me, but I know my dad's with me at every step of the point,
100%.
every step that I continue to go on. But yeah, that's definitely the regret side of me has really helped me grow in my relationship with my dad passing away,
Yeah, and I just feel like, I mean, there's just so many different stages of grief, but like even when people die now, like the only piece of advice that I can give is time.
Yeah.
Time heals. I don't think we'll ever truly be healed from like losing those people, but like I still have days where it will randomly hit me.
Like a truck.
I remember being like
it just happened.
Yeah. Or like in college, riding the bus to college, and like it just randomly hitting me and me bawling my eyes out. And being in a public place on a bus full of a bunch of college students who are about to get dropped off for class, and like just being so embarrassed. I'm like, Sailor, get your shit together, like hold it together. And I'm like, oh, I can't. Like it just was crazy.
Yeah.
And like granted, as time goes on, it gets easier, but I still have those days where I'm like, I'm not okay. My mom is gone. Like so hard.
No, for sure.
And something else I really battled with and still sometimes do is anger, like just being pissed off. I'm like pissed off that she's gone, pissed off that she put herself in a position like that, pissed off that she
don't have a mom anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it just affected so much stuff when you choose to bring life into this world. Like, don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
Granted, shit happens. People fuck up.
People have their own issues.
Like bringing children into this world and that bleeding into their life, like luckily we're okay.
Yeah.
Some people don't have that strong mentality to be okay.
And to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if it weren't for my dad's teaching my whole life and the strength that my dad gave me when he was here, I don't think I would have been able to be where I'm at now without him. Because I feel like he just instilled so much into me while he was here that it was engraved in my brain and in my heart. That's like, you get that from your dad, you know? And even now with my little brother, like, I want him to know, like, that's who your dad is. Like, that side of you comes from him, and like
being in Austin.
Yeah. And it just like, he doesn't know my dad the way he does. Lyndon doesn't know that side of her that like she questions, and that's who I care about more than anything during this time. Now that I've gone through what I've gone through and still go through every day. And like, it's never easy. It doesn't really get easier. It just becomes, I don't even know what it becomes. Like, it just becomes life. Like, it just starts flowing into you, kind of like becomes your normal life. Like, I don't know. Like,
you just get used to it.
You just
it's just your new reality. And like I said, sometimes it does hit where it's like, oh, this sucks. And sometimes I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Like, I feel like I've made peace with this. Yeah. But I think it's just an ongoing thing. And you just have to give grace to yourself, grace and patience, because you will forever be healing. I mean, that's a parent.
Yeah, for sure.
A parent that you're supposed to have for majority of your life. And unfortunately, the cards were different for you.
And I feel like peace for me now is very much like, I just feel my dad's presence. Like, I feel like before I wasn't able to accept it because I wasn't ready for it. And now I feel like I feel his presence even more now than I did when he was here. Yeah. And to me, I'm forever grateful for that, because if I would tell myself when that happened that I would be here, I don't think I would have been able to believe it or even hear what I'm saying now, just because of how hard and how I thought like life was over. And it wasn't over. It was just like, I have to live this life without my dad. Like,
it was turned your whole world upside down. It's like, okay, let's get used to this new reality. Yeah. It's so uncomfortable, so scary. I mean, especially in such a baby season of life, you're about to go off and start your life, start college. Sure. Like, you want that support. Yeah.
For sure.
So it's hard, but I'm proud of both of us for how we chose
And I'm glad
to.
we had each other. Because I feel like, well, naps.
Sorry.
I feel like without having somebody that understood me, like besides my sister, because that's like a whole different story.
Course,
but I think having a friend that I could just come and talk to and not have to put that load on my sister, you know, I don't want, she has her own thing, her own life going on. So not always having to put that load on her and have that be our topic of conversation, which it's still 90% of our conversation. But having that from you and just your strength and your, just all of you, just you in general being in my life has like benefited me in like such a positive way. And like when I say benefit, I mean like I've learned and gained so much from you as a friend, as a boss babe that you are. I don't even know, entrepreneur that you are. Like I feel like you have opened up so many doors for me, religious wise, getting better relationship with the Lord, work wise, faith wise, like everything that I can think of. You've opened up that door for me, and like I just so grateful for you as a friend.
I love you. You're gonna make me cry. I love you.
I love you too.
And it's definitely so nice to have friends to walk with in life that get it.
Yes.
Because your sister can't always be there, and like so grateful we have sisters who understand. But there's also something so nice about having somebody who's not family that like can actually carry the weight without being like, hey, I know I'm coming at you with a heavy subject, but it's like I'm here to be a rock for you, and vice versa. And it's been something that I definitely think the Lord had in his cards for us to be best friends. Like the timing was not by accident.
Not at all.
So
very
so
on
heavy,
brand.
But okay. So to close out, I just kind of wanted to briefly talk about our current season of life and business. So tell us about your recent business venture and what you do, your title.
So right now I am a full-time interior designer for a custom home builder.
Yeah, you
here
are.
in Lubbock.
Badass.
And it is actually my dream job in a way that I didn't think would have been my dream job. I felt like for the longest time I didn't know what I wanted to do. Moving to Lubbock, I didn't really have a career path, didn't go to college.
Yeah.
So I just figured, you know what, I'm just gonna have to work my way up, you know?
Yeah.
And now I feel like there's so much potential and so much things to learn and things to put into that I just am trying to learn and absorb and be a sponge in my field right now, because I feel like I have so many goals and so many dreams that I don't feel that are very far from my reach, you know, and a lot of hard work is definitely gonna have to come from that. Dedication and grit. I don't know. I feel like I have to get down and dirty. I don't know how or when or where, but I feel like it's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. And I don't feel like I'm alone, and I feel like I can always lean on you because I feel like you always give me great advice when it comes to work and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm so proud of you. And
so
it's just
much.
so cool to see you from a season of not really knowing what you want to do, and then kind of figuring out what you want to do, and then kind of starting a brand off of it. And then God's like, hey, I actually have this plan for you that's nothing that you could have ever imagined, but it's brought so much to the table for you in a sense of connection, in a sense of experience, knowledge, just getting in front of people. It's teaching you a lot, and I see you thriving in it, and it just makes my heart so happy, dude, because I mean, everybody wants to find a career that they love. And I mean, it sucks doing something in life that you hate to wake up and do. And I think that that's so important, to find something that gets you going. It's not like, oh, I have another day of work. It's like, no, like I love this. And I mean, of course we all have our days where we're like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. Like I want to stay home. But for the most part, it's something that like you're eager to get to. It's 100%. Something that just gets you going.
It fuels me. It truly does. And like our book we read, Multiplier Effect, like I feel like I wouldn't be here without you and the connections that you've granted me and the people that you knew leading me to this direction. I mean, it was person after person after person, but I mean, like it started off with your recommendation.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is so powerful that you're able to help your people out in those ways and like the times that they're really needing that extra help from you.
Yeah.
And you do it so fluidly. Like it's just so natural for you to just help. And like all this time, like with all your mom's situation and like during all that time you were there for everybody else. Like I'm just very thankful that I had you in my corner. Really. Like I feel like I don't know where I would be career-wise, friendship-wise, grief-wise without having somebody like you, and we did take a little hiatus from each other. But we
I didn't know
won't
we were going to talk.
We won't
Aaliyah
talk
and I
about
had
that.
like a pause in our friendship for like what, a year?
Yeah, I felt like it was a
We needed it.
mutual good
We were just in different seasons of
sure.
life. I was in a season of starting my business and like
marriage,
getting married. And I mean, we starting a business.
and I was just vibing.
Yeah, it was
for sure.
And not that it was bad, but like
Not at all. Needed
I
though.
was just had to put my attention in marriage and business because our life depended on it at the time.
100%.
And Lee was in a different place and it was so hard. The whole year that we weren't friends, like we like both talk about it now, like how we wanted to like reach out, which I reached out. Okay. I got my new number so that I could be a Lubbock local. I got my 806 number. And I remember texting Lee after we weren't friends and being like, hey, like just in case you need it. I don't have my New Mexico number anymore. Like this is the number. She didn't text back. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. And I left it in her corner until she reached back out. And she's like,
I did. And it felt like the right time.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Sometimes you just need that.
Yeah, no,
and I think that when something's meant to be, a friendship's meant to be there, it always leads back. And it's so hard in the moment, but it's also just being a trusting and faithful daughter to the Lord that like, hey God, this sucks. And I love this girl, but if she's meant to be in my life, she will be. And like, I just have to take a step back.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And I think it made us 10 times stronger.
I agree.
But it is funny. Just girls being girls, you know. But here we are.
Yes, here we
besties.
are.
We did not skip a beat.
Episode number 2. Flip side.
Literally. So thank you guys for watching this. I really hope that y'all have been able to take something from this and hopefully be inspired. I know that these are sometimes some daunting and heavy topics that we're talking about, but they are the real and raw side of life. And that's what I want this platform to be used for, to shed light on the dark times that we're not chatting about on our Instagram story. So thank y'all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.